Ask the experts, what's the one tip you always give newbies when they're planning a Disney vacation? And I'm laying them all out here for you. Hi friends, welcome to the Disney Slowdown. I'm Laura Krumzak, and yes, I asked the experts, what's the one tip that you give to everybody who's new at planning a Disney vacation? And frankly, I was surprised at some of the things that they said. Some were hysterical, and I will share those with you too. I can tell you that I feel very vindicated in a lot of the things that were said because I thought I was here with this channel and I'm the only one out there saying some of these things. But when they came back in the comments and they said, no, I always say this, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but beep, beep. It's very easy to get imposter syndrome when you're out here trying to give advice and make a YouTube channel and just be helpful. I don't ever want to be just extra noise because we don't need that in our world. I really do want to help you have a great vacation, especially if you're new to experiencing Disney. I know Disney can be very overwhelming. So it just made me feel good to know that I am on the right track. If you have not seen any of my videos, what I'm going to do is all the videos that pertain to these tips and tricks that I've already said, I am going to link them on a playlist and I will put it at the end. So first we're going to go through some of the items that I've already said, and then you can watch those videos after you finish watching this one, but stick with me all the way to the end because there's some really great nuggets in here and I'm going to flesh them out for you. So the first thing that I was really surprised that other experts tell everybody else is to slow down. Disney has so many layers. And I was trying to think back to like our first trip. Yes, we focused on the rides because we are amusement park people and we like doing the rides. Disney rides are not thrilling by any means. You've got a few here and there. But the Disney parks are really built up of layers. And one of my children got very upset because she wanted to go shopping. And she wanted to explore, and we were focused on rides. So there's definitely something for everyone at the Disney parks, and it may not be the rides. Now, my kids this time around, they were too old for characters, and they didn't really want to go around and meet characters. But at Christmas time, when I flew my 24-year-old in, and she saw some of her favorite characters, she goes, I have to get a picture with Goofy. And we found a few others that she absolutely had to get a picture with too. So yes, we stopped everything and we got pictures with Goofy. You may have those moments as well because you've got those childhood memories and their favorite character or a movie they always used to watch. They will turn into little kids. And you will turn into little kids. I mean, who doesn't love Pooh Bear? Pick your top 3 things per park. Oh my gosh. I was so happy to hear somebody else say that. It takes so much time to get from point A to point B, and it doesn't look like it should take that much time, but it really does. And that was another one of the tips. Things take longer to get to, plan for more time than you think you're going to need. But if you agree within your family, what's the top 3 things that we want to do in each park, then everything else is gravy and you're not having disappointments and meltdowns because the expectations were too high and what you could actually accomplish was way too low, especially if you're coming in the summertime. Florida is so hot and that concrete is just radiating. Along those same lines, do not promise your kids anything, any special experience. It's possible, but you're never going to know when you walk into the park if something is going to be closed down. If it's going to rain on you, it may not happen. Especially if you're trying to book some kind of extra experience. I've seen more than once people telling their little girls, oh, we're going to do the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. I mean, that's like $200 per kid. Like, that's no joke. But then you couldn't get a reservation on your Magic Kingdom day. then everybody's in tears. Like, don't make those promises because you are really not in control of that. Even if you book a special experience, I wouldn't tell them if I were you because anything can go sideways. That's out of your control. Park hopping is not for rookies. Goes back with things take so much more time. If you are new to the Disney parks or it's been years since you have been to the Disney parks, just do one park per day. Do not waste your time on transportation traveling from one place to the other. I know it looks like it should be lickety split, no problem. But I don't care what mode of transportation you use. When you leave one park and you're headed to another park, that's going to be a full hour. Sometimes it could be up to an hour and a half. So just stay in the park that you've chosen for the day. Look around, do what you can, and be satisfied with it. Letting your kids lead too, especially if they're little. Like, just experience the magic from their eyes and don't try to plan everything. Sticking with your kids' routines is a really big one. If they take naps, it's okay to leave the parks, go back to your room, take a nap, and then come back later. That's what we used to do back when we could get up early in the morning and go to the parks, and we'd be there right around opening. We'd walk around for several hours. Then kids are starting to get hungry and it's like, okay, it's lunchtime. Let's leave the park. I had a cooler packed with drinks and sandwiches and chips, and we would unpack them and everybody'd start eating in the car. As we drove back to our resort, we'd go and we'd take a little nap because 110-degree heat is not anything that we want to deal with. Then we'd go back a few hours later. Maybe we'd take a little break and go to the pool after we took a little nap for lunch. It's your vacation. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to spend every waking moment inside the Disney parks. Wear walking shoes that are good for your feet, ones that have been broken in, and start walking now. 20,000 steps a day is no joke. Get to know the park maps and kind of where you're going and where things are, and also familiarize yourself with the My Disney Experience app. You don't have to buy the multi-pass lightning lane or the single pass lightning lane, but there's a lot of useful information inside the app. So if you get to know that now and maybe even stock it. So let's say that you're going to be going in June of 2026. Download the app now. Take a look at it. During that time when you're going to be there a year later, start looking at wait times and start looking at what is the most popular ride so that you know. And I will do a series about popular rides and some good plan B strategies. That's on my list of videos to do for you. So stay tuned to my channel for those helpful tips. Things to bring in the park. You've heard me say it before. A water bottle, protein snacks, Ziploc bags, do some grocery delivery. I've got a whole list of things for you. It's going to be in that playlist. All right, now on to some tips that I hadn't said, but maybe I'll start. Don't waste time in long lines. That one was kind of a surprise for me, but I can agree. I mean, I have my threshold of about an hour, and I know which rides are going to take that long and what's going to be worth it for me to stay in that line. So if I see one of those rides and it's got a 45-minute wait or a 55-minute wait, I will probably take a gamble and get in line and see if the wait time is a little bit less, because sometimes it is. On the video that I watched about rope dropping from Mammoth Club, she pointed out Guardians of the Galaxy was down. People got into rope drop Guardians. And then at 8:30, they started lining up, even though the cast members were saying it's still closed. You might want to go do something else. 10:30, Guardians still wasn't open. So it's a gamble to say, oh, I have to ride this one ride, and even though it's closed, I'm going to sit here and wait. I wouldn't do that. There are other rides and other attractions that you can stand in line for, and things go down all the time. Now, Guardians doesn't typically go down for extended amounts of time. That's kind of rare, but don't gamble with your vacation time standing in line for 2 hours or more for a ride that you just absolutely have to ride that is temporarily down. Go do something else. Know what is closed. Disney puts out a list ahead of time of everything that's going to be closed for refurbishment. Go onto the Disney website and read up on that so you know what's available and what's not even possibly available. Like right now, if you're coming to Disney World anytime between now and early June, Test Track is still down for refurbishment. Now, when that comes back up, it's probably going to go on a virtual queue. It may not even have a standby line. Big Thunder Mountain in Magic Kingdom is closed for the entirety of 2025. So things like that are publicized and you can know before you go. Don't overload your plans. You will be back. I know a lot of people say, I'm just doing this one trip, one time to Disney, and we are going to stay on property and we're going to buy all the extras and we're going to go rope drop to fireworks. Go, 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 go. And then when you get here, you realize how much there is to do, that you can't do all of it. A lot of people decide that, okay, we do need another trip to Disney. Or they catch that Disney bug. I'm not talking about the flu. And they decide that they would like to start doing regular vacations at Disney World. That goes back to taking it slow. Don't try to do everything. And just understand that once you come to Disney World, you will probably come back. Go resort hopping. There's so much free stuff that's available for you to do in Disney World. I've actually covered that as well. This playlist is going to be long, but that's okay because this is going to help you out. Resort hopping can be a really fun time. Looking at all the theming. Now you can't go and use the pools or anything like that, but they are fun to just look at. Check out the different shops and maybe grab a snack somewhere, ride the transportation around. It can be very relaxing. All right, let's talk about a couple of funny things that I think is absolutely hysterical. First of all, day drinking is not frowned upon. We know you are on a family vacation to the happiest place on earth. Sometimes you might need a little extra support. Nobody is going to look at you if you are drinking an alcoholic beverage at 10 o'clock in the morning. You're in good company. And also, especially in EPCOT, although they have added more seating, a trash can is a dining table. I know, it seems weird. I don't think this is something that's actually done in Disneyland. Somebody posted in our AP group that they went to Disneyland for the first time and there were no tables. So they just put their plates and drinks on top of the trash can and started eating, and people were looking at them really weird. So if you've been to another Disney somewhere else in the world, just understand that in Florida it's okay if you gotta plop your stuff on top of a trash can. Nobody's gonna look at you funny. And you're probably gonna see a lot of people doing it. All right, here's some stuff that I never even thought of. I think the winner of the whole group is you need travel jewelry. Do not bring your good rings. Don't bring your good earrings, your favorite necklace. If you always have to have your jewelry on, especially your ring, I don't even wear a ring most of the time. You're in the heat of Florida. You're going to swell up. You take it off. There's just been a lot of people who have lost their rings. Get a travel ring. Get like a silicone band if you have to have something there. But leave your good jewelry at home. Another great tip, sometimes saving your sanity is more important than trying to save every dollar. Ponchos are a very important item to bring to Florida because we have a rainy season. It's going to be a great, beautiful, sunshiny day, and then you are going to get a deluge at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You are going to get soaked. That's just how it is. So bringing a poncho in your park bag is a great idea. But if you've got 3, 4, 5 people all with wet ponchos and you're back at your hotel room and you're trying to dry them out, Mama, you don't need that. You don't need that. Go to the Dollar Tree and get cheap ponchos and get one for every park day for everybody. So instead of spending $15 on really good rain jackets or really good ponchos that you're going to have to dry out, just buy the cheap ones, and at the end of your park day, everybody throw them in the trash. I know, it breaks my heart because I don't like to throw things away like that can be reused again, but you've got to save your sanity. Besides, you're not going to get them all folded up properly and stuck neatly inside your park bag. They're never going back in those little pouches they came in. If you're planning a table service meal, plan it for a resort, not your park days. Do it during one of your rest days. I thought that was a genius idea. Yes, there are table service and character meals all over the parks, but they also have them at the resorts. And you can meet fun and interesting characters all over the place. You can meet the Fab Five. You don't have to take up your park time. You can take your time on your rest day and then plan a table service meal or a character meal if that's what you want to pay for. I thought that was a fabulous tip. Talking about more strategies, if fireworks or parades are a priority for your family, get to the viewing area early. And this could be a full hour and a half before the fireworks start. It's a nice break, especially if you're talking about like evening fireworks at Magic Kingdom, to just sit down with some food or some snacks and just relax and sit there and wait for fireworks to start, but figure out where you want to watch the fireworks from and get there early, because everybody will start piling in the last 20-30 minutes. So don't think that you can just rush right up to and then get the perfect spot. I did a video and I will include it in my playlist at the end of this video, and it's about different places where you can watch the Magic Kingdom fireworks. Maybe you go check out one of those out of the park locations on your rest day, or maybe you do ride rides up until fireworks and you happen to be in one of these other locations that people say this is a great place to watch fireworks. I'm going to be testing out some of those. I've got a trip coming up in April, so we're going to test out some of these alternative places to watch the fireworks, and I'll let you know what I think. EPCOT strategies. Don't rope drop. Actually, I was told don't rope drop any parks. If you watched my 5-minute tip from earlier this week, you will know that I said rope drop doesn't work for my family. If you have not caught up on my 5-minute tips, I'm going to link that playlist for you right here. I'll also put it in the description box below. But rope dropping can be a strategy, or you can take your time getting up in the morning. You can hang out at the pool at the resort and then go in to the parks in the afternoon, early evening. You still have hours to get a lot of things done. I've seen Molly on Mammoth Club do a series on the best 4 hours at each of the parks, and she gets in there late afternoon, like 4 p.m. and she still can get everything done. Now, you're not necessarily going to get to see all the shows, so it really just depends on what your priorities are. But don't think you have to be there at rope drop time. But for EPCOT, not only do you not rope drop, but you start in the World Showcase first. World Showcase will open at about 11 o'clock. Now, France is going to be open because Remy's is there. Les Halles is open, so you could get a pastry first thing in the morning. And then Norway, I'll move over here. Norway is open because the Frozen ride is open, and Kringla Bakery is also open. But all the other countries in between, none of those are open until about 11 o'clock. So if you take your time getting into EPCOT and you start at the back in World Showcase first, and you go through all the countries and you get to see all the characters and you eat your food, then everybody is going to start filtering back to World Showcase, and you can do the front of the park, and you're going to have shorter wait times on those rides and attractions in the front. It's a great strategy. This is my tip for you, Mama. Don't be the only know-it-all in the group. Yes, we have told you, get familiar with the app, get familiar with the parks. My suggestion is that you watch the Slowdown tours of Walt Disney World, of all the parks. I've done one where I follow the map around. Those are already in a playlist. I'll link them in the description box below for you. And also, I like the updated DFB guides. They do the ultimate guide to each of the parks at the beginning of the year. So all of the 2025 guides are up. I should have them already in a playlist. If not, I will put them in a playlist, and I will also link them in the description box below for you. Let your kids watch those with you. Let them decide what they want to prioritize. If you've got an older kid, a teenager, I mean, 13 and older, they can have their own account on Walt Disney World and they can have their own account on the My Disney Experience app. Now, linking tickets to them might be a little bit of a challenge, but cast members are there to help you. It's really easy. They can fix it. You can chat with them. You can call. It's not a problem, but let your older kids get familiar with the parks as well. And even when they were younger, Emily was the one who was the map. She wanted the map. We're like, Emily, this is where we want to go. Where are we going? And she's like, this is where we go. So she was always our map. Samara also has her own My Disney Experience. She knows the parks better than I do. I'm always getting turned around. But it's nice to not be the only person who knows everything, because that can be very, very draining. And this is your vacation too, Mama, so don't be the only brain in the operation, okay? Memory Maker is worth it. I know it looks like it's probably, can't remember how much it is, a couple $100. That's also something that I've said. Get the Memory Maker and make them take pictures with every green shirt cast member that you find. But it truly is a good expense. And I think you'll find that once you get to the parks, your kids are going to want to take pictures with characters, no matter how old they are. And you're going to be grateful that you went ahead and purchased that Memory Maker. And my last bit of advice to you, I actually wanted to quote the whole thing that this expert said. So let me read it to you. The Disney magic you dream of rarely involves the rides. It happens at the shows, character meals and meet and greets, parades, the firework, unique experiences like Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, pool days. Disney resort pools have activities throughout the days that are a blast. Don't stress out about the rides, and definitely don't waste precious time standing in line for a ride for an hour, except maybe for 1 or 2 rides that are super important to you. Make a plan to experience all the other magic. I think that wraps up this video just in a perfect little bow. Don't have to do everything. There's magic all around, and Mama, don't stress out. Once you get there, just go with it and let your kids have fun. I hope this was helpful for you. I hope that you spent some time watching my playlists. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. I am here to help you. If you haven't already, would you please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and hit that notification bell so you know when I put up a new video. And as always, we'll see you on my next video.